King Ludwig is sort of a nutter. At least that's what all the gossipers would have you believe. After all, he wants castles, lots and lots of sprawling castles, but he doesn't want like the normal castles that follow like your traditional castle blueprint. He has very strange tastes. But your job as a builder of castles is never to question what the king wants. Your job is just to do what the king demands. And in fact, you're going to be competing with 3 other castle builders to try to build the castle that best satisfies King Ludwig. That is the Castles of King Ludwig, a game that takes its pedigree and definitely a lot of its design decisions from the great city builder Suburbia, which makes a lot of sense because it's made by the exact same person. But Castles of Mad King Ludwig takes Suburbia and adds some new wrinkles to it that really make it an exciting and interesting and different feeling game. Mad King Ludwig wants a castle and you're going to give it to him. Using tiles of varying shapes and sizes, you'll construct your nonsensical castle. Here's the contract board. This is the marketplace. 1 room tile is placed beneath each amount. These are the room tiles, all placed face down. And these are stairs and hallways that you can always buy for 3,000 marks. These are bonus cards. You draw 3 at the start of the game and choose 2 to keep. You may be able to draw more during the game. And these are the room cards. They have a room type on them, determining what room to place in the marketplace to fill in empty spots between turns. And these are the king's favors. They don't change once set out during the game. The player who meets these conditions at the end of the game wins the points above. Here's what makes Castles of Mad King Ludwig unique from other city building games. Each turn, one player takes the role of master builder. They arrange the rooms in the marketplace, determining their cost. Starting with the player to the left, each person can buy and place 1 room, but they pay the cost to the master builder. So as master builder, you want to make the rooms people need affordable, but not too cheap. The master builder can also buy a room, but his money goes directly into the bank. Sadly, you can't pay yourself unless you're a dirty, stinking cheater. If you don't want a room, you can instead pass and collect 5,000 marks from the bank, denying the master builder funds, but also failing to expand your castle for that turn. When you buy a room, you must place it immediately. Rooms must attach to at least 1 entrance of a room already in your castle, and they have to be put at a 90-degree angle. So no super fakakta castles, sorry. You can align other entrances against walls, but then those rooms can never be considered complete. Let's look at the anatomy of a room tile. These are, quite obviously, entrances. These are the points you score for placing the room. The color of the room and this icon here tell you the type of room. Don't worry, there's a handy cheat sheet included in the game. Activity rooms have this icon. It means you earn negative points if this room is adjacent to any of these room types. Think about it. Do you want your music room next to where you sleep? Not even a mad king wants any of that. A room is considered adjacent not just if the entrances are connected, but even if any part of a wall touches, and that includes rooms considered downstairs. Most rooms have a positive bonus. If you connect this current room with a room of this type, you score these bonus points. Each room also has a completion bonus. Completing a room means that every entrance connects to another entrance. There are dungeon rooms too, and those must be connected to the rest of the castle with stairs. When you run out of room cards to draw, the game ends. The player with the most points wins. The player with the fewest points is banished from the kingdom. I really enjoy actually playing the Castles of Mad King Ludwig, like what I'm doing on my turn. What I think works so well is this new master builder element. And what's so great about it is that everybody is engaged. So on my turn, if I'm the master builder and I'm laying out the tiles, I have to be looking at what is one person doing and the other person doing, what are they building, what do they need, and how much money do they have? Because I want to build my setup here where I'm going to say, I wanna get the most that I can out of you, but I don't want to charge so much that you say, no, I don't want that. And at the same time, when I'm buying and giving money to the master builder, I might say, I really can afford and need this room that you put at 10,000 marks, but then at the same time, I don't want to give you that much money, and I think maybe the next turn, I'll be able to get it and someone will set it at a lower price for me. And so there is this really interesting like sort of asynchronous bargaining element, right? Where I'm putting something out, trying to guess the most that you would pay for it, and you're trying to basically make sure that you're not paying too much to somebody who is your direct competitor. That element is already in itself makes Castles of Mad King Ludwig fantastic. And then laying out the tiles and seeing your castle sort of build together and the weird combinations of rooms adjoining to other rooms is really fun. Like having the stables next to the meat locker, you could say that's a happy accident, or you could say that I'm really gross. Either way, I think it's kind of fun to have stuff like that. As much as I love the process of playing on my turn, the end result is unsatisfying, right? Playing the actual game, very satisfying. When I look at my castle at the end, never satisfied. I've yet to be satisfied. And that's because the game is just too short for its own good. It's maybe a 45-minute game. It could even go shorter than that. And at the end of it, it feels like you're just about to get to the part where your castle is going to go crazy and you run out of room cards and the game ends and you tally up the scores and everybody just kind of looks at their castle and goes, it looks like a castle. Right? It's only when you actually look at the individual rooms and go, that's really weird why you would have a theater next to the room where people take naps, or the fact that there's nowhere to eat in my entire castle. And so yeah, sure, if you analyze each room and say, why is this next to this? That's really funny and weird, and there's lots of walls, blocking open doorways and that kind of stuff, but I like to think, I want to think that the layout itself, if I just ignore the rooms, but I just look at the layout, I'm going to go, wow, this castle looks crazy. But honestly, every castle when it's laid out tends to just look like a castle. It's only if you look at the individual rooms. So that I think is a little bit of a letdown. The game honestly needs to be 15 to 25 minutes longer to really allow people to develop a much deeper strategy and to allow these castles to sort of break down a little bit and become a little bit less normal in shape and to start to do some really wild things and really take over your game table. I think if you like really light interaction, right, where it's not direct competition, but there is a lot of influencing what other people are able to do and this really cool sort of bargaining element where it's not direct bargaining for pieces and how much you're going to pay for them. This is it, right? This has got a really lot of cool elements to it. It's simple to understand, it's easy to play. It just needed to be a little bit longer of a play session, but otherwise I think Castles of Mad King Ludwig is great and I highly recommend it.